You have been asking the landlord advocates on and off social media since early September, do you believe that the New York State eviction moratorium will be extended past January 15th, 2022? We believe that. This is the Landlord Advocates, where we help landlords become better landlords. I'm your host, Matthew Lyman. Welcome. We believe that it will be extended past January 15th, 2022. And here's why. One, New York State is not going to want to see thousands and thousands of tenants evicted over winter time and be homeless out in the winter winds, in the winter snow, in the winter cold. That's number one. And secondly, ERAP. The infamous ERAP. Now, we're not going to get into the meat and potatoes of what ERAP is all about. We will have videos up above at the end of this video that we produced earlier on that will explain what ERAP is and why we believe ERAP is dead. Now, with the ERAP application process, tenants apply. When they apply, they cannot be evicted for non-payment of rent until a determination has been made whether or not the money will be paid to the landlord for the rent that is owed. Now here's the problem. We have said for weeks now that ERAP is dead. There is no more money. The money is gone. But tenant advocates and legal aid and other advocates of tenants, have put forth the argument that there is money there, keep applying. Even though we said, no, there isn't. We had them tell us that we were wrong directly and indirectly. But we have been proven right. And here's why. According to the National Low-Income Housing Coalition, the state of New York has either obligated or expended 100% of the ERAP funds. There's no more money. It's gone. There is no more money. Now, as of 10 p.m., November 14th, 2021, the application portal is closing for ERAP in New York State. You cannot apply. Now, the Legal Aid Society caught wind weeks ago that New York State was going to do this. So what did they do? And what are they still doing at this moment? They are encouraging, along with other tenant advocates, tenants to keep applying for ERAP because they know that once they apply, they cannot be evicted for non-payment of rent. They are doing this through emails, text messages, instant messaging, Facebook, all sorts of social media blitzes, home visits, office visits, any way possible. They are convincing tenants to apply so that they do not get evicted. Now, in New York State, they have allocated and paid out to 165,000 ERAP applications in 5.5 months. New York State has over 115,000 pending applications. Now, according to the online publication, The Gothamist, they have set aside $1.1 billion of the ERAP funding towards those applications to hopefully pay those landlords. But it's still not enough to pay all of the applications that are still pending. So what Governor Kathy Hochul has done is she has sent a letter to the federal government asking for $1 billion more for the ERAP program in New York State. That letter was joined by a delegation of 17 of the 27 members of the congressional delegation in New York to Secretary Janet Yellen, the Secretary of the U.S. Treasury, asking for more money to be given to New Yorkers to pay the rent that they owe to the landlords. Now, how this happens is the federal government, the ERAP program, is that every state would have had to either obligate or expend at least 65% of their ERAP funding on or before September 30th, 2021. And if they did not do so, that money would be reallocated to the states that had done that. But this is the middle of November, a month and a half later. It has not happened. And if it does happen, how many more months would that take to happen? Middle of February? Middle of March? If the money is granted to New York State, and New York State reopens the portal so that tenants can apply and landlords can apply, how long will it take for them to say, yes, you're going to get approved or not? They already went and spent 5.5 months to do 165,000. They have over 115,000 now. So, looking at the time, it could be another 4 months before those 115,000 applications have been exhausted and denied or approved. That now puts you into the middle of March 2022. Now, if the federal government does finally give money to New York State, because remember, the other states are going to say, please, federal government, give us more time. And of course, the government will do so. So New York State will be in limbo to get any more money. And if they eventually get it, are they going to extend it out even further to give tenants and landlords more time to apply and more time to be approved for this funding? If this were to happen, you could very well see the ERAP program still alive until the middle of 2022. Yes, 2022. Now, ERAP is not an eviction moratorium, but it is. The moment a tenant applies, you can evict for non-payment of rent. So therefore, as we have said many times before, ERAP is an eviction moratorium. Now, a statement made by a Judith Goldinger, an attorney from the Legal Aid Society, sums up why we firmly believe this eviction moratorium will be extended. And she goes like this. The move is premature, and closing the ERAP portal when demand for relief still high will traumatize our clients still in need of these critical funds. Well, they may be in need, but there's no money there, so shut down the portal and shut it down permanently because there is no more money. Therefore, tenants cannot use the excuse, I applied for ERAP to stop their non-payment eviction because there is no more money. But legal aid and advocates are taking tenants aside and telling them, apply, hurry up and apply. You won't get evicted if you apply. Okay, so hurry up, apply. Here's the paperwork. We'll help you with it. Just keep going. And that's what they're doing. By shutting down, they won't be able to do that. So maybe this is a good move by Governor Kathy Hochul, or is she doing this to try and prove a point to the federal government? We need more money. Open up money, give us more money to continue on this ERAP application debacle. She goes on to say, moreover, we expect that any relaunch will occur after the eviction moratorium expires in early 2022, leaving families susceptible to eviction. That right there, when you read that, will occur after the eviction moratorium. Trust me, legal aid and their advocates are in the back pocket of the government of New York State. Contrary to what some may tell you and I, we know that they are. So if the money is coming forward, we firmly believe that Kathy Hochul and the legislature of New York State will find some way to extend this eviction moratorium much further out until ERAP perishes because there is no more money, it's over with, it's gone. So yes, landlords, we believe that the eviction moratorium, in one way or another, will be extended way past January 15th, 2022. We hope, we would be so happy that we are wrong, because if we are, we all will benefit from the end of these oppressions against us landlords. Until then, please subscribe to our channel, hit the like button, leave comments below, hit the notification bell so that you're made aware of future videos that we make to help landlords become better landlords. Until then, landlords, take care.